Hello once again, witchy people. We're back with the book, with my grimoire. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to take out the pages that I no longer need, the pages that really shouldn't have been there in the first place. And I do have some new pages to put in, but I have to reprint them because I printed them out the wrong size. So the first things first, what I'm actually going to do is flip this to the back, where you can see I actually have my screws going into the back. A lot of people have them going to the front. You'll know which ones are which because they have a little divot in them. Should have had this prepared already, shouldn't I really? Okay, hopefully this is going to be big enough. No, let's go the right way, shall we? You may hear some strange meowing in a minute. It's one of my cats who desperately wants to go out, and I'm not letting her out because she's been out all day. It keeps raining. Right, I do have to be quite careful of this because obviously my front and back covers are attached with the corset binding at the side here. So I want to be quite careful not to disturb that too much. And then loosen up some of these ribbons. Oh, this is always such a horrible bit, lifting out the pages. So these are blank. This is Nature and the Celtic Tree Calendar. Now you can see now how I've constructed this. So it is a page, and it has this. Oh, that's my printer deciding to go a bit dodge. Okay, so this is an A4 sheet, as you can see. It's been cut off a little bit at the bottom. I don't know if the best place to show you. Let's move that over slightly. So this is an A4 sheet. So the A4 sheet, I lobbed it off about 1.25 inches from the bottom, and at the side I attached, put that back there, I attached an extra bit, and in the middle of this is something called Tyvek to stop it from tearing. You could use the hole punch strengtheners, little holes, but unless they're the plastic ones, I don't think they work very well. If they're just the paper ones, they don't work very well. Not for something like this that is used a lot. So let's go horticultural horoscope. Now some of this is not mine. This is mine. This is not mine. But it's everything that I know anyway, and it corresponds with my path. So if I had to write it out myself, it would be exactly the same. Therefore, it's written out right. That's all just a quick reference guide, I think, at the back here. It is a quick reference guide for herbs and plants and what they are for. So that's a really quick reference guide for me. Tree folklore. I'm going to keep this. This is not mine. Some of it is, most of it isn't. So that, but that's staying because I like that. Right, this is my trees. Magical powers of trees. So that can all stay. This is, like this specifically, trees that I have not got in the rest of my book. Bear in mind, I'm doing this backwards. And it will take a while. So So trees and weeds, I think this one was, at the back here. I'm trying desperately to keep it in the right order. Oh, I think that's the end of my tree bit there, by the looks of it. Yeah, so these are my pages, so, and once again they were all done on Word. What I tend to do is print out the background first. So the background is printed out first, and I have lots of these background papers printed out, and then I can just print on top of them what I want to. Like I said, this was all done with Word because I can't use any other program. Don't know how to. This is English oak leaf. Okay, now we have the stuff that I got from Aundria, and all of this is fine. And Aundria Dees, she is the Cackling Cauldron on Etsy, and as you can see, her pages are stunningly beautiful. If you are quite eclectic and quite loose and easy, if you like, in your path, and you don't have any rules and regulations you have to stick by, I would highly recommend Aundria. But even, I think, if you were part of a tradition, a lot of this would make sense anyway. So like the element, the gender and the planet that corresponds with the plant. So if I remember, I will link her Etsy store below. So, but she is amazing. Okay, now we have some blank pages. And these are all my notebook pages, and they are mostly for tea brewing recipes. So, okay, this is also from Aundria. And I've said it before, the reason I bought these from Aundria rather than make them myself is because it's all the stuff that I know already, but in a much prettier format than I could ever do. So, limoncello, honeysuckle iced tea, like I said, and she's not very expensive, really. I don't think so. Okay, so we have potpourri. Now, a lot of this is from my old website. So that's all about potpourri. Now, dark power herbs. That I think I got. That did come off a website. I probably got it off of Pinterest or something. I'm keeping that because I might add to it. I might add another page, which is probably why I've left it blank on the back. But all the information that's the same as mine. So next is about a witch's how-to on tabs. Crikey, there's a lot here. Oh, and all my, this is from my old website. It's a GeoCities website, so it's still out there in ether www land. It's out there. Okay, so next. Much as I love this, I'm not keeping it because it's... I don't understand it. It was there because it was pretty. Same as this one. But I'm keeping this. I'm going to redo it myself. Okay, so that needs to be redone. This is going... Life from Death Restorative Potion. This is definitely... It's a joke thing. It's not even A lot of the, what you might refer to as joke spells in here are actually real spells. They just have the old folk names for some of the plants, and you have to understand those old folk names to kind of get it in your head what you're actually dealing with. This isn't ghoul elixir, werewolf fur, toenails from a dead blind man. This is not yeah, this is not stay. So I'm just trying to read what the other side are. Slug juice, devils something, fire crystal, crocodile tears, blessing seeds, dragon scale. So I might put this and this together. But what I'm going to do with all these ones that have things in here, like wormwood grub, dog's tail, fire tarantula is one they use a lot. I'm going to put like a revised version of it next to it, which has, you know, all the real herbs. This is Eye of Newt, water toad. I don't think I'm going to keep that. I'm not going to keep this. I will be keeping, okay, now I've got to remember what I'm keeping and what I'm not. This I'm keeping, so this can stay. And I think most of the rest of it I am keeping. This is for Aundria. This is Aundria's. This I'm not keeping, definitely not. So, much as I love it, so what I think I'll do is, oh, this is going to hurt me to do this. So I'm going to do it with pencil. Right, I'm going to put lines through the ones I don't want to keep. So this one, this one, this one I said didn't I? So this one, but I am keeping that one. Not those, right, the banishment spell I might redo, so I'm just going to put there redo, and this one I'm not going to have. This one, oh, see now this, I can't read this. I know that says hemlock. 3 parts something root, 1 part hemlock, don't know, 1 part ground unicorn something. So that can go. Witch's protection bottle, I think I'm going to keep that, so that can stay. Now these should be, let's have a look, mine. Now then, change folk names, and this one I'll redo in own way. So is that one right? What have we got here? Miranda's elixir, 1 part I've just face palmed myself. Okay, ambrosia tea. I can see that says chamomile. That, I think that says 1 part lemon peel, 3 parts something blossom. Something of chamomile leaf. 2 parts something. I will probably be able to figure that out. What's this one? Right, I might actually ask Aundria for simple version. Both sides. Okay, what have we got next? Okay, so the rest of it is all... No, it's not all mine. Okay. My pages are stuck together. And I think sometimes you have to go through. That's on mine, that's on mine. So that is all okay. Yeah, so that I'm going to add another page. Add page for folk names. I know what I mean. Right, so the rest of it should be fine. Spellcrafting, so I'm pretty sure the rest of it is all okay. The rest of it should all be is all mine. So I may regret doing this, but I'm going to put all these back for the moment because I don't want to have to do this. Yeah, so I think that's why. Yeah, I think you should go through, if you have a book of shadows where you can remove pages, go through them, see how your path has changed. If you do not have one with removable pages, go through your old book of shadows and see what you would like to put into your new book of shadows, or your grimoire, or whatever you like to call it. As most people know, mine is just called the book. Yeah, go through, see what you'd like to keep, and don't ever throw away your old grimoires, because it is, I mean, if these pages that I've said I don't like were mine, just mine, I wouldn't throw them away. I'd probably keep them in a separate folder, because you don't want to look back in 20 years time and say, I wish I'd remembered what I was doing back then. Oh, that hurt. You know, it's nice to look back on your path to see how you've evolved or not, because sometimes people, although they learn extra things, they don't need to evolve their path. You know, they just, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but sometimes you don't need to evolve, you just need to learn more. And just because you learn more doesn't mean to say you have to put it in your practice if it doesn't make sense. I am sorry about this, maybe I should have stopped the camera. But it gives you a chance to see some of Aundria's lovely work. Oh, larkspur, delphinium. My mum just gave me the most beautiful delphinium, which is why you see this. This is all from when I was out in the garden planting the larkspur, the delphinium that my mum, and it is a beautiful blue. Actually, no, it's more purple than this. My mum bought it for me, and straight out in the garden, very hot day, and I'm fine. I can be bitten by most things and I'm not affected. Get me close to an ant. Yes, a little black ant, not even a fire ant or anything like that, but a normal everyday ant. And I do not get on do not get on well with them. It really does affect me if I'm bitten by an ant. And I think the reason why I'm not allergic to wasps and bees is because when I was very, very young, I was only a few weeks old, I was stung by a bee on my face. So I think it's kind of given me almost like a, you know, like I've got that, oh, what do they call it? Fine. You're there shouting at the screen right now, I know you are. Like an antidote? No, but you know what I mean. So yeah, bees and wasps things don't affect me. Not that I don't go running hell for leather when a wasp starts flying around my head. We've actually got hornets around the local area at the moment. When the workmen were doing my roof, when they came to take the scaffolding down when they finished, which is only a couple of days ago, could hear them screaming out there because they were being bothered by hornets. Well, they say hornets. I just think they're quite large wasps. They're not. I've seen hornets. Hornets are huge. But I'm sure they knew what they were talking about. I am so sorry about this. So, I do have extra pages to put in. And when I have all those pages ready, what I do is I print them out. So all of my Book of Shadows pages are like this. You see, they're quite thin. And this is just been, most of the time it's just a tea bag around the edge, give it a quick squiggle, because you only see the edges, because I print them out, as you can see here, I print out and stick them on. So, like I said, my pages are, for the most part, just like this. So there have been some pages I've taken out already. I have 2 books. One's new, which I am going to put specifically some of my spells in, especially if I use potions and such like. So I'm just I always dread when doing this, because I always worry that I'm going to muck up the corset binding. Now I'm not going to do that too tight, because it only just has to hold whilst. And you can see that this book is very well used. It's worn. It's got my favourite bits are actually it's got cat teeth marks all over it. But I like it done this way, with the really large, like I said, with the larger bits here. You want at least an inch. I think these are 1.5 inches, because then no matter what page you open it up on, it will lay flat. And that's what I like about this book. So, as I said, everything else I'm keeping, the Witch's Alphabet, crystal gazing, and I think there should be a lot of blank pages here, because I'm going to add in quite a bit. So there's quite a bit on runes, because I used to use runes a lot, and this picture is, like I said, this picture is all over the place in here. It's one of mine. Look, this is Aundria's work again. The beginning of my book is very much, it has my words in it. This is Aundria's. This was a gift from Aundria. But we start off with my this is actually a reproduction of a picture that I drew, so it's a photocopy, and another photocopy in green. I wouldn't usually have a book blessing like this, but this was so lovely, and it was a really, really beautiful gift, and I just think, oh, what a wonderful lady Aundria is. Poems, and then my poems. This is some of this I am going to redo because yeah, I don't know. I might redo some of it. So my ramblings and my memoirs, Pagan Musings. Everyone should read Pagan Musings. It was by Tony Kelly of the Cillian community in Wales, and he wrote this in 1970. So it's nearly as old as me. Nearly. And I think modern paganism still draws inspiration, unity and peace from these words, and they should always do that. It's not just that bit, it's all of this bit as well. So yeah, so I am going to redo my pages. Hopefully my binding is still intact. Yes, it is. But not that bit. There we go, red. That one should be black. Right, so all my binding, my corsetry binding is fine. Even though I've taken out a fair chunk of pages actually. And that's a fair bit. But I say, they will be going back in. I will be adding other pages, so that'll bulk it out slightly. I may make a few more pages. I did have some, I just don't know what I did with them. The idea was, like, you can get little extensions for these. Right, you can call them binding posts, the actual screws that go right the way through the pages. You can call them binding posts. You can call them scrapbook posts, scrapbook binding posts. They are actually called Chicago screws. If you want to know the proper name and want to look up and not pay the huge prices that crafting places, and they will do, crafting stores tend to charge you more just because they are crafting places. If you look up Chicago screws, Chicago as in Chicago in America, Chicago screws, you will find them a lot less expensive. Not that they're really expensive anyway. I mean I've gone through how much this book has cost me, but when I say how much it's cost me, that is everything down to the pencils that I use to colour this in with, the ink from the computer, and that's taken a lot of ink, and obviously, you know, and the things that I bought from Aundria. But to buy the same or a similar book would cost a heck of a lot more. So what I think I'll do is put this up as part 1, and then when I've got the pages sorted out, there's yes, when the pages sorted out, we will start putting them in. As you can see, I do need to do a bit of work mending this. This is curling up at the end here and here. I have got the book corners on. I know some of the holes here need fixing. Let's see how we're doing at the back. You know, it is worn. You know, it has got worn and marked over the years, but that's part of the beauty of having a book. You know, there's no point expecting it to stay pristine and lovely, because that means you're not using it. And your book, like I said, I've said it before, it's the encyclopedia of you and your path. You know, your grimoire, your book of shadows, your Book of Secrets, Book of Light, Book of Dreams, your shadow book, whatever you want to call it, whatever you use it for, it is still an encyclopedia of you as a witch. And that's all it needs to be. And because it is an encyclopedia of you, it doesn't have to be perfect and pretty. I know mine looks pretty, and I will admit it does look pretty, even though it is battered. But I still keep... Sorry, my cat is meowing again. She's not going out. I still keep my original books with my notes, and even though they may have nothing to do with the way I follow my path now, or they have exactly the same, some of the information is exactly the same, I still will keep them, just because. Just because. That's all there is to it. Just because. So I am looking through. I'm just trying to, because up until now, a lot of my, this is my travel spell book, so it's mostly empty. I don't know if you can see that. Novus Princeps. Basically, it's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in Latin, and my son did that in my book. But he wouldn't have done it if he thought I would be really upset about it, and he certainly wouldn't draw in this book or any of my other books. When I come back with the other pages, I will show you, I'll bring back the other couple of books and show you some of the books that I am going to be using. I haven't started using them yet. I will start using them. I will. So for now, that's it. Taking apart my Book of Shadows, ready for restructuring, shall we say? Restructuring, giving it a bit, giving the old gal a facelift. My poor little grimoire. Yes, the old gal needs a facelift. So there we go. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon. Bye for now.